So Ngizwe Mchunu, yes, I'm also hearing about him for the first time, is in trouble because he made an opinion about having a same-sex couple married in Zulu attire, saying gay people dishonor Zulu attire and the Zulu culture itself. He said things like, if a man sleeps with another man, it's shameful. And he implied that traditional wear like imvulo is for heterosexual men. He was denied entry into the Kwai Mai Mai market after some of those comments. So that's how deep this man got himself into trouble in. And the South African Human Rights Commission, the SAHRC, yes, the Palestine people, is investigating for hate speech and harassment. Civil society, government departments, KwaZulu-Natal legislator, and the Commission for Gender Equality have all condemned his remarks. So you have the entire mixed masala going after this guy. Some groups are asking him to retract, apologize, and remove the content because there will be many legal consequences under the Equality Act and hate speech laws. But then, if you remember the last two words I said just now, if you don't have a tiny attention span the size of a goldfish, hate speech law, then you'll know that Ngizwe Mchunu did absolutely nothing wrong. The man simply said his opinion, and by saying his opinion, it is in no form an attack on another community. He is simply saying what he thinks about a certain group of people. Well, if I put it like that, then it does sound like hate speech, doesn't it? But then, you get what I'm trying to say. He's simply saying what he thinks about the LGBTQIA plus community. Is this what they're actually doing to everyone now? Charging them R500,000 for what they said about the gay community? Remember the Steve guy? I forgot his surname, but his name was Steve. And about some time ago, they charged him 500,000 Rand for what he had genuinely said. His thoughts basically about the gay community. So we live in a world where you can say whatever you want about Catholics, you can say whatever you want about Muslims, you can say whatever you want about religious people, you can say whatever you want about conservatives, you can say whatever you want about those who want to protect their traditional beliefs and cultures, you can say whatever you want about the white farmers who are being massacred in South Africa, but you cannot say anything about the most protected community, perhaps the most protected community in the world today, and that is the LGBTQIA plus community. I'm not saying say anything about them, but all of a sudden now to protect your culture against such influence is bad. So the man saying he, as a spokesperson of the people of his culture, doesn't like that, is in deep trouble now, right? There's women getting raped. The GBV fund has disappeared again. The G20 summit is going to be absolute nonsense. We've just spent 700 million Rand on a national dialogue that has done absolutely nothing for us. And the number one thing we can do in response to all of this is by charging a man for saying something about a community he honestly couldn't give a flying ham sandwich about. Ngizwe, my man. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. Look, you can be gay all you want, but you're not going to do it in my Xhosa attire. My people and I will slap the living wokeness out of you. Okay? We are not attacking the gay community in any way. But what we are saying is that it should not be to a certain point where we are forced to even start accepting them within our own cultures. I thought South Africa was for free speech. If free speech is truly free speech, then I'm free to say I don't have a problem with the gay community, but I do have a problem with them interfering within my beliefs and my cultures. You can go and be gay all you want. You can buy an island and practice your Sodom and Gomorrah practices there. But don't you dare do it while holding a crucifix or doing it with Xhosa attire from my family bloodline. You will not do that, because what you're doing there is you're shoving your nose down a culture of people that don't agree with you. Not don't accept you. Don't accept you is a different thing. You're human beings, right? Don't accept you makes you feel less than. That's not our point here. I'm not trying to say gay people are less than human or they're dogs or whatever other extremists call them nowadays. What I am saying is you can be gay all you want, but don't you dare start doing it and start forcing me to accept you. Don't force me to accept you. I've already been accepting you this entire time. Why do you think there's no gay genocide? Because the people are accepting you. Conservatives are accepting you. It's one thing to accept someone, it's another to completely tolerate their influence. I don't have a problem with my kid going to a school where there's a few gay children. But if those gay children are going to start convincing him to be gay, then we're going to have huge problems, because that kid is from a home that raised him to be himself and be proud of what God has given him. You're not going to be born a boy, and then as you start growing up, you think you have a pair of brain cells and think you can do whatever you want, cut your balls off, and then start calling yourself a woman. Not under my roof. That's not going to happen in my house. And I'm not even saying this as a form of hate speech. I'm saying this from the perspective of a young man who will have to raise a family someday, and the rules that will have to be followed in that house. If we truly want a stable society, then we'll have to acknowledge the fact that our young children cannot be exposed to such things. I'm not saying I hate the LGBTQIA plus community, but what I am saying is, if you're being realistic and if you want a functioning society with functioning children, with good jobs, who raise their children properly, who go to church, who say their prayers, who pay their bills, then you're going to have to set some boundaries. It's like in a relationship, right? Your first date. The man can't be touching you or being all touchy-touchy on your first date. That man is a creep, he's clearly a murderer, and you should get rid of him. Set your boundaries. Where are all the feminists here? Where's all the trad wives, as we call them? Where are all of them when something like this happens, right? They're everywhere. When a gay man, for example, or a lesbian woman will say something about traditionalists and conservatives, they're everywhere then. They'll say, yes, he was right, because so and so and so and so, the traditionalists have been holding us down for all these years. Look, okay, that's fine. But now a traditionalist is saying, y'all are genuinely butting your noses into our situations, and you're forcing us to accept certain things or certain action of yours that seem blasphemous to us. It's like the Orania thing. Imagine someone who is not of Afrikaans blood who steps in there and tries to live in there. It's going to be a problem because they're trying to preserve their culture over there. So if someone is gay and then starts getting married in traditional attire like Zulu attire, what he's genuinely saying is his people don't have a problem with him being gay and he can do whatever he wants. What if the elders in your community don't agree with this? Are you still going to disobey them and start wearing your Zulu attire while getting married to another man? You can practice sodomy all you like, but don't you dare do it while wearing the culture of our people. We didn't say be influenced by the poison of the West and then start trying to convince our children to do the same. And I know you know that I'm not wrong here. In no part of this video did I mention any little piece of hate speech. I was just saying what I think and my opinion, which is an opinion that honestly makes sense. Because this opinion isn't even an opinion, it's a fact. And the truth of the matter is, sometimes the LGBTQIA plus community likes to force us to accept certain things they do that they know they wouldn't have done if we were the ones trying to force them to accept something. This is like a child forcing you to let him play your video game, knowing that if it was you in their shoes asking them to play their video game, they would have said no the first time. So a gay couple can get married wearing Zulu attire, but I can't post a video on YouTube saying why I genuinely don't agree with them. Can you see the unfairness here? My child, the moment my child turns 12 years old, they can have sex whenever they like without telling me about it. That's what our government has accepted. Or is it 14? 14 or 12? Either way, a child is still a child. You're not going to start correcting me with age here. A child is still a child. And that child can sleep with whoever he or she wants to sleep with, and they don't even have to tell you about it. Age of consent is 18, yes. But if I'm not mistaken, after about 14 years old, the South African government has accepted the fact that the child can have what you call sexual liberty. They can go and have whatever operation they want to have. They can go and have their, what did they say, their coochie done. Is that what they say now? They can be a transgender and not tell you about it. Yes, you're the one who pays the bills. You're the one that feeds them. You're the one that gave birth to them. You're the one that gets them to school. You're the one that's protecting them. But you have no right to ask them about what they're doing with their lives. What part of that is fair? And what gives our government the right to start dictating on how households work? To me, what Ngizwe Mchunu was saying this entire time was, go be gay, but don't do it in my house. That's basically what he's saying. If you look at it from the general sense of things, with him saying gay men shouldn't be married wearing Zulu attire, he's basically saying, go be gay, but don't do it while wearing my people's clothes. You get what I'm saying? Go be gay, but don't do it while wearing a rosary or wearing a crucifix. So don't do the sign of the cross. You're blaspheming. Go be gay all you like. But remember, in this world, there's people who don't agree with what you do. So don't force them to. I'm not here convincing everyone and forcing everyone to be a Catholic. I'm not out here walking down the street with a flag of our Lord Jesus Christ, shoving it down people's throats saying, accept the word of Christ or you will go and burn in hell forever. I'm not out here doing that. But I am still a Catholic man who firmly believes that Christ is the Son of God, made man for the salvation of mankind. But you don't see me walking down the street motivating anyone to do the same either, do you? Because I mind my own business. And you should too. Why is it that everyone else is told to mind their own business except the LGBTQIA plus community? Are they the only group that have a special pass to this? I don't understand. Tell me what you think in the comments section. Maybe this video will get taken down, not because I said anything hateful, but because I said what I generally think, and I was asking the questions everybody has at the backs of their minds. Subscribe.